you live this life or walk this road, then you can talk shit. Gambling with my life, but I refuse to go for nonsense. This the life I chose, this all I know, ain't many options. Vow to tell the truth, I make the rules like I'm Fleece Johnson.
Hey, what's up? This is Big Lee with Hustler Spirit. Man, I got Arthur Fleece Johnson in the house today. What's up, Fleece?
My book.
That's
First
right.
First of all, this book.
That's right. Go pick up the book on Amazon.
Yeah.
Leave a review.
Okay, and have an open mind.
Yeah, he wrote it himself. It's raw. There's a few mistakes in it, but it's real. And everybody that's read it said they couldn't put it down. They reading it in a day or two. It's not that many pages, but it's a lot of information. Man, how you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
Okay, let me ask you this question, because this is what's been on my mind, because I couldn't understand it, but I've never been to prison, so I want to get your take on it. Transition. I done did 40 years in prison. I'm thinking, if somebody's never been to prison, if I get out, I'm not gonna jaywalk, I'm not gonna steal a piece of bubble gum, I'm not gonna do anything wrong. Even if I've been and did 18 months, I'm going by the rules. Is that realistic?
No.
Why you say that?
Usually when people get out, when I get out of prison, okay, I know I'm supposed to be free. I ain't been out, I left the streets when they had dial phones on the wall. You dial a number. They ain't have cell phones, none of that. Got a new generation out here. Kids that was 1 year old is now 41. They got kids. So the streets as I knew it, done passed from OGs to young G's. So it's a day thing now. So I wrapped all that in my memory so that the key to me being out here is number one on my list was respect. I felt like no matter where you go in the world, places you never been to, the number one key to being successful there is respect. Respect the people. Respect what they got going on. Respect their mindset, how they dress, how they talk, how they do their thing, right? Even though they thing is different from my generation and the generation before me, this is their generation. So I came out with that mindset, right? And because of that mindset, I received a lot of respect back from the generation out here.
Mm-hmm.
So, but my thing was how to get a job because I like to work. What if I can't get a job? One thing was for certain in the criminal man. It ain't no, we come out with we don't want to go back.
The intentions, yeah.
It's in our heart to get out of here and live a normal life like anybody else. Work for what we want. And go through that. But then doors is, even though they got equal opportunity signs all across the city, we hire ex-cons, all that stuff is made up, man. In the real world out here, you got a lot of them that claim that they will hire this person and that person, and they won't do it.
And then if they do, they treat you like garbage because they know you're a felon.
Treat you like garbage.
Right.
And So, the only thing about this generation is wide open. There's opportunities out here. My generation can come out of here and make a killing if they get back off into the crime.
Why you think that?
Because this generation is have weaker principles than ours, and they leave their doors open a lot. It's easy to rob people, man. You know, if I went back into the streets, I'd rob half the city, man. Yeah. It'll be that easy.
But you know they killing at a rate that's higher too.
It ain't nothing to fear.
Everybody got guns.
Look. That's nothing to fear. If you come in with your little disguise on, they'll never know who you are, man. I can walk past him the next day and ask, hey, brother, you got a light? And I just robbed him at night. Hey, can I get a light from you? Yeah. I said, how your day?
Well, that's the point I'm trying to make. What makes you believe that today versus 30, 40 years ago?
Well, the thing with me is, when I changed, it wasn't based on punishment. Punishment can't change me. It ain't based on consequences. I suffered them all my life.
I think you proved that, right.
I ain't care about no consequences, no punishment. You know, so when I changed, it was genuine. It was because I woke up here. See, I'm able now to rationalize with myself, right? Right and wrong. What's good to do, what ain't. And be truthful about it. You know, seeker of truth now. So, and the truth was, I was foul, filthy, corrupt, did anything I wanted to do, didn't care what nobody thought about it. And I don't do it no more. And so now, and I'm glad of it. So.
But let's get back on this transition thing.
Yeah, by transition.
Why even think about crime after you've done that much time? What would make you say, I'm gonna take a chance at doing something illegal?
Because the whole time you in prison, you are doing illegal stuff.
Oh, so you never change in prison, is what you're saying?
Well, no. Shoot, we gotta live in prison. The same way people live out here in society. We gotta, if we wanna survive, we gotta come up with some money.
Well, okay, that makes sense.
Hustle.
So the drug dealer that gets busted out here goes to prison, continues to be a drug dealer. So people like myself.
No, he don't.
Hold on. People like myself are thinking, okay, you went to jail for drug dealing. How do you get out and you get right back in the mix? So it doesn't come from him drug dealing in prison?
No. Them drug dealers on the street come in prison and can't even sell drugs in prison. We got all that stuff locked down before they even step through the door.
Okay.
The only way to get drugs in, you have to come through us. So whatever you was on the street, you ain't gonna be in penitentiary. Ain't no drug dealing. Them guards, they got cameras now that when your a visitor come in and y'all kiss, they can tell if she put something in your mouth and all this stuff, right? They own all that. So to be successful in the drug thing, you got to come through us. And the drug dealers, they end up buying drugs. They end up becoming the fiend that they served on the street.
Mm.
You know, in the penitentiary. Now they begging, hey, come here, man. Come here. Let me talk to you, bro.
So the only way you gonna get drugs in there is the guards, period.
You gotta have an inside connection.
With who?
With guards, with workers, case workers, nurses. doctors.
So everybody's concentrating on it. That's a good point. I never thought of it. So everybody's concentrating on the guards getting it in. But what you telling me is so much money in it that doctors, social workers, caseworkers, nurses, all of them are stuck in the corrupt game too.
Man, they the main ones.
Nobody's never said that on camera.
Well, I'm saying as they the main ones.
Wow, I did not. I bet you people didn't think about that.
Man, then Airmark is
The food
corporation. They hire temp people. They hire black girls. You walk in the kitchen one day and just
let's back up real quick, because I think we just hit something that I'm amazed. I've never heard this before ever. I've always, in my mind, it's always been about the correction officers. That's who I'm thinking. So when they crack down on the correction officers, thinking they the one that's helping these inmates bring these drugs in, you mean to tell me, I want to ask you again, because make sure I get this straight. It's the dentists, the doctors, the social worker, caseworkers,
dentist assistants,
the professional people that's really doing it. That blows my mind.
Well, look at it like this. This is the known fact. I don't care what type of man you are, if you go to a woman's prison to work as a man, I don't care who your wife is, or what your man said, you gonna, out of all them women, you gonna see one woman
that you like enough to do anything for.
That you gonna be like, damn, what she doing in her, man? She needs to be in my arms, right? And you gonna do it. And it's the same way in a man's prison. You got all these women, you got 40, 50 women walking the loop past means of talking to them every day. Sooner or later, they gonna see that white, a certain man, and you know, in prison, they buff out, get their bodies right, keep their stuff shaved and trimmed up. She gonna spot that certain inmate. And he gonna have all the charm and personality and talk that she's looking for, and he's gonna be doing good things as an inmate, like enrolled in the college programs and stuff like that. And she gonna go for him. And then he gonna have her, see, all of them comes to me. I usually know everything going on in the penitentiary, right? That was my business, my job, right? That's how I made my money, And so they come to me. Hey, I said, what's up, Fleece? I said, what's up? He said, man, I just knocked. I said, who? Oh, man, you know that nurse down at the... I said, yeah. I said, you lying? He said, no, man, she gonna bring me a bag, Mom. Tell me I'm lying then. I said, what you gonna do with it? He said, what I owe you, I thought I could knock something off. I said, yeah. It ain't gonna be much, because I don't even smoke. I'm running that stuff to him, make him think that, you gonna have to give me more, man. You gotta give me a lot. And I'm gonna sell it, right? And smoke it. And then I'm gonna find out I had to take her from him. And so...
by force or charm?
Charm. Blackmail.
You said it with a straight face, too.
Yeah, blackmail is serious enough. See, when them guards come to work in prison, they give them a walkie-talkie. Give them an ink pen and a notepad. Inmates are scared of her. You got to write up. They'll beg him guards. Because, a write-up will affect your release date.
Yeah.
It would affect if you can make parole. So nobody wants to write up, man. And then guards walk around in prison like police do out here casing the neighborhoods. And so if you lose this walkie-talkie, that's a breach of security. Because you can open all the doors in prison with a walkie-talkie. This is Officer open C22, and it'll open.
But don't they have the cameras right there?
It'll open.
Mm.
So they set their walkie-talkies down, them ladies. So I took it. Passed it off to an inmate. Told him what to do in case, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't turn up unless you know something's going down. So she said, hey, Fleece. I said, what? Have you seen my walkie-talkie? I said, yeah, I got it.
So you pass it off in case she goes and say he has it,
Yeah,
and they search you and don't
told
find it.
her, and them girls know me. I said, you can call IA and Turner Revenue,
Turner first.
Turner Affairs,
Mm-hmm.
and they can put me in the hole for 30 days. Give me another 30, raise it to 60.
She gonna lose her job though.
But you're gonna lose your job. You know, you're gonna lose your job. So she called me back and said, I thought I'd treat you right. What have I ever done to you? I said, it ain't what you ever done to me, it's what you ain't done for me. She said, what? I said, get this thing, right? She said, you know what? And I'm not gonna get that thing. But she ended up getting this thing, then I sold her. But here's the point. That's the stuff I had to go through in my survival in the penitentiary, right?
So I'm just.
So out here in the streets.
Hold on for a minute, because I'm still. It's what we just talked about. I'm still amazed, because I can't believe I never thought of that. I've never heard it either. This whole time we've been thinking, I'm still on this, and the whole time I've been thinking the correctional officers. Just like here in Louisville, they was having problems. They said it was the correctional officers that was letting drugs in there. But what you just confirmed, that it's a lot bigger than we think. It's not just the correction officers. It's the professional
Yeah. See,
people.
when I growed up in Louisville, back in the days in my generation, the players in Louisville, the guys that was pimps, hustlers, they had 5 or 6 girls, and the girls knew each other and they all worked together. Here's what they was doing. They was telling they girls, instead of you working the street corner,
Mm-hmm.
go fill out an application and become a correction officer.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna make a lot of money in that field. So all the girls was playing, man, and then they was working in the Louisville jail. People said, God, ain't that? I know her, man. I know her. She live all that stuff. And she'll come through and play her part. Now my name is Officer so-and-so, so-and-so. Can I help you? Did you live that? Look, I'm not here to give you my private life story. Is there anything I can help you with? You know, come off like that. Psych them out. Now, the pimp and player that put her there, now if I go to jail, I'll say, hey, man, tell your girl, man. He said, she got you, man. She'll come through. I need to see Mr. Johnson. Goes, open the door, I come out, go to her office. She give me some dope, big bag of it. That's how they were doing it back in them days. See, the young guys these days, they got ladies out there that they can do the same way. Honey, go get you a job on the police force in the corrections department. I need eyes and ears. We can make a lot of money in these jails. A pack of cigarettes can sell for $400-500 for a pack. We can rack up it. We can send dope in there and all that. We make a killing. Man, and get a job in the penitentiary in one of these prisons. I want y'all to go to these prisons and work. And you'll see them, because there's one girl, she worked in Luther Lucky as a case, Sherry Wilson. That was her name, caseworker.
Yeah, I think you mentioned her before.
Yeah, and so she was doing everything, man. Inmates turn her up, man. She's bringing in all kinds of weed, dope, everything, and she and white girls that work her. A lot of them work her, man. Don't even belong as working in the prison. I mean, they got farms and stuff. Them girls in Eddyville, they got 200-300 acres of land with 100, 200 cattle. All this stuff, they already got money, man. But they do it as just something to do. And them black ladies coming on. I seen Bells, a Bear, she's at a hot town. She came in our man, hustling him out of everything. You know, I mean, they gave her everything, man. They would buy her brand new cars and trucks, all that stuff. Yeah. So prison is like a business, man. So now when we get out of prison, we out here in society now. So we tell ourselves, okay, we're going to give it a try. We're going to do the work thing. We're going to try to take care of the family, the kids. You know. But what we don't realize is, what if we don't get that opportunity? See, we ain't prepared for that. What if I can't get a job? What if every time I get one, the people that run the place is nasty? And the people that is worker is nasty. I can't do it.
Because the respect thing that you went through in prison. Because I noticed that if you call, and I've seen this with my brothers and cousins and friends, and you too. If you call somebody's been in prison a snitch or the B word, they find offense to it.
Killing offense.
Yeah. But out here, you can't be tricked with that because... No.
See, it's what I realize that they got a lot of mental people walking these streets out here. People that got mental issues. I mean, bad ones. It ain't no fake thing. It ain't no. It's just who they are, man. Something done reduce them to that state of man where they like messed up. And you got to increase your tolerance to deal with them out there. You're going to have interaction with them. Most people stay in the house. I understand why now. Because they, you know, when my generation, people come out, sit out on the porch, be walking up down the streets. But nowadays, man, there's so many attitudes, personalities, spirits inside of people. And people don't want to see it. They don't want, it's taking away their way of living. But now me, I'm like, hey, I paid my dues. You know, I'm out here trying to survive like everybody else. Y'all talking about y'all want to give an inmate opportunity. I mean, second chance or whatever, give it to me. And every time, man, I ran into problems, man. And so then I gotta ask myself, would I allow myself to walk around as a homeless person, asking for dollars, holding up signs? Can you feed me? All this. And watching people ride past me, looking at me disgraceful. No, I ain't gonna go that route. And a lot of inmates won't go that route.
So you're gonna go back to prison? You rather go back to prison than face that?
Not go back to prison, but try to make some money.
I mean, you're gonna take a prison.
illegally.
You're gonna take a chance.
Yeah.
Which means most of the time you're gonna get caught. So you're taking a chance going back to prison, right?
I did it. I did it since I've been out. And
But we won't talk no more about that. But
nah, we ain't. But I'm gonna say this though. I did it.
after 40 years, you did
I
it.
mean, man, look, you put me in a situation out here, you know, I'm out here in y'all world now. I left mine in the penitentiary. That's the world I growed up in. Prison. From a child, from a baby, on up. I growed up in penitentiary. I didn't go through no proms and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have that in prison. Proms and graduations and all that stuff. I'm in a prison. Now, when I left that prison after 40 years, I'm out here in this world. Y'all, society, the society that claims to be a new generation of technology, people to set on making the world better, cleaning up neighborhoods and lives of people. I'm out here in y'all society, filthy ass society. That's what I call it out here. More filthy than a penitentiary can ever be.
You think so?
Yeah, I know so.
No, ain't no way.
Whatever. Only thing they got out of here in prison, they ain't got is the ability to move around, go from restaurants to here to there, travel and all that. Other than that, the disrespect out here is just, is stupid. And,
You mean in prison, at least people have, they recognize the code.
Yeah, they better.
Because they know what's going to happen to them. I heard what you're saying is everybody's just, there's no boundaries.
They ain't set a code in the city, you know. And they think they can set one through murder. And that ain't the way to set your code, man. You can set codes, man, just by cutting people off, man. People that, you know, want to live outside the code, man. You know, ain't nobody want to even deal with them, talk to them or nothing. You know, so you can set a code in the city, man, but you can't do it through murder. As they think, man, let's go. Yeah, he the one that shot at my people. And yeah, man, we ain't gonna let that ride, bro. Let's do it. And stupid.
Moral of the story is stay out of prison.
Yeah, the moral of the story is be smart.
Hey, Fleece, what kept you going in prison? How you train your mind to, you thought you was never gonna get out. So what kept you going? What thought process did you have?
My imagination. I can take my man. I can close my eyes and take my man and put me anywhere I wanted to be in the world, to do anything I want to do. And with my eyes closed, I can actually feel it and see it as if I'm there. So, a lot of times I would take and, like I'm giving you an example. I was down North Point. That's when they left me in a cell 8 months with no blanket, no sheets, no shoes, no toilet paper, no mattress, sleeping on a concrete bed made out of solid concrete. In the wintertime, they were trying to get a reaction out of me because the cell that I was in, they had it special built. It's supposed to be a destructive proof cell. And they spent about $45,000 building that to put me in it to see if I can, you know, cause I was tearing up all their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I say, look, man, I ain't got no problem with y'all, man. I said, my problems is at Eddyville Maximum Security Prison. They said, well, we one big happy family, please. You mess with one of us, you gotta mess with us all. I said, okay. And so I wouldn't do nothing. I wouldn't cuss them. I wouldn't do nothing. It went on for 8 months. I said, hey, man, y'all gonna give me a blanket or something? I ain't told nothing up down there. They said no. So in the wintertime, it was so cold, and I took my hand and scraped the wall. I could scrape ice off the inside of the wall inside my cell. So I said, you know what? It's time to tear this place apart, right? Because I can sit here and try to keep playing their game, showing them that I didn't come to their institution to cause trouble. You know, I was sent from an institution to them. But it's below zero, below temperature in that cell, man. If I don't do nothing, I'm gonna freeze to death.
Mm-hmm.
So I went out. I eventually tore that whole thing up, tore the whole door off, steel door, tore a wall down. That's why I tore a wall down at the down North Point, tore the whole back wall. I walked outside. I walked outside and there was a lady in the guard tower beamed down on me with a rifle. That's as far as you go. Don't take another step. I've been ordered to shoot.
So how long did it take you to tear down that wall? Because they had to have heard something.
See, you remember the story I told you about the 2 big old 6-inch screws and the lady going up in me?
Yeah.
And that.
Yeah.
When I get in a situation like that, it's brand new. Everything is steel plated in the cell.
Mm-hmm. Steel
plates over the windows. The toilet was steel rods going on the side and in the front bolted to the floor. The sink had a steel case on it, bolted to the concrete wall. Everything was bolted. They even had protection over the water sprinklers, where you can't break the water sprinkler. And
like a little cage or something.
Yeah, a little cage over it. And it's like, we got you, Fleece. Them 2 screws that I got that were so crucial to me, I took them out of the fluorescent lightning. Mm. They had a cage over there too, but they had a part in the cage where I could get them screws out. I took them screws and just chip.
For how long?
It took a couple of days.
All day long?
Oh yeah, I ain't got nothing else to do. And plus it's freezing cold and I need to circulate my body, move my limbs and stuff to, let blood go through me so I wouldn't freeze. So I chipped all the way down, went all the way around the door. Then I started doing whole stretches. I'm through that concrete now, right? So I'm at the door frame. I done went all the way around it. So I said, okay, this is coming out. All this crap, y'all think y'all gonna torment me, torture me here. I'm trying to be nice. I went 8 months without causing you no problems. And y'all just keep coming at me. Won't give me no toilet paper or nothing. And my food come in a styrofoam tray. And I tell you what, when I got done with them down there, I had to hold a solid steel door leaning on me, scooting it down the hall. When I got out of that cell, all them water sprinkles down the whole hall, I bust every one of them. Inmates was beating on their door. Get us out of here. I beat their door.
What, flooding?
Yeah, the flood. Plus, I broke all their windows out. You know, when I got that toilet off the floor, a solid steel toilet. When I got that off the floor, I said, I'm gonna work with this. I used that like it was a sledgehammer. I went boom, I was breaking. I was fixing the inmate's door where they can't even open their door to the 10 of them. They're gonna have to cut all them doors off. You know, you won't keep messing with me. Then I went back in and I'm talking about water was this high. I'm wading through water this high. And I kept beating my wall with that toilet all the way back. Boom, hit the wall. Ooh, boom. It's a big solid steel toilet. Ooh, boom.
So they had to come down there after hearing all that.
Yeah, that's when that warden shot me. This is what I'm talking
okay.
about. That's the time when he came down there.
Let me tell the viewers something real quick, because I don't think they understand. I do, because I interview you and I hear your stories. The one thing about Fleece, because we don't rehearse anything, we don't write anything down, you'll hear some parts of the story that sound familiar. But what he does is he adds on the other stuff that he eventually remembers as he tells the stories. That's why I ask him questions over and over, the same question sometimes, because I know I'm gonna get different parts of the story that we didn't get the first time. And eventually it'll be a complete story, but because it comes off top of his head and it's based on his memory at the time, he can't remember every single thing when we talk about it. But as we talk about it, it comes back to him and he completes the story. Go ahead, man, my fault.
Yeah.
So they down there, and that's when the warden shot you.
Yeah, but the point about, we was talking about how I can take my man.
Mm-hmm.
When all this was over, they put me in another cell, butt naked, and they put handcuffs on my wrist.
Is this after you got shot before?
This is after all that.
You done healed from the gunshot?
Nah, I ain't healed nothing. I'm laying out tore up.
Because they didn't get you medical
They ain't
help.
take me to the hospital or nothing. Let the nurse come in there and scrape my room and disinfect it and wrap it.
Mm.
You know, and so it laid me butt naked on the bed, handcuffed my wrists and my ankles. And remember how cold I told you it was.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, I'm handcuffed not with leather strap, but with the steel mannequins.
Mm.
You know, so it's even colder. And they so tight. They right down that bone and they do that on purpose. And they supposed to lock it where it can't tighten no more, but they leave it unlocked.
So if you do something, just keeps
So if
tightening
I
up.
move, it tightens up on its own.
Yeah.
So hours, I've been down like that about 8 hours. My body had a white ash on it. That's from the cold. It's like frost. From head to toe, this white ash. But I'm in there laughing to myself. Now I can't see the doors in back of me. And it was that nurse. She said, Mr. Johnson. She was big old, that lady got big hands. I used to say she was a man. And I said, what? Do you know where you at? I said, yeah. I said, penitentiary. She said, no, do you realize that you are laying on a solid concrete bed, butt naked, handcuffed? And I presume it's cold in her. I said, what's the question? She said, are you all right? I said, yeah, get away my door. But let me tell you something. They couldn't understand how I could be in that situation and being there laughing to myself. See, I was able to take my mental, my mind, off the pain and put it on something that brings joy to me every time I think about it.
What would bring joy to you?
You know, just little certain events that happened in my life. You know, something that was so funny, like a Kodak moment. You know, something that you cherish, a memory full of joy.
What memory? You remember the memories?
Shoot, I had a whole bunch of them. I had memories of when I was a kid. I wanted a sled for Christmas. I used to see it on TV. These white kids, they had these sleds that'll jump over mountains and turn flips in the air, and I believed in all that as a child growing up. You know, Santa Claus and all that, flying sleds.
Mm-hmm.
And so for Christmas, I got an ironing board top.
You got, hold on.
Made into a sled.
Who made it into a sled?
My granddaddy.
An ironing board top.
Ironing board top.
He just flipped it over and put some handles on it or something?
No, he welded some old shit on it where it can turn like that.
Shut up, man.
And used my grandmama's pantyhose. He doubled the motherfuckers. You know, them old granny hoes, they strong too, man. I could stir it like a steering wheel, took me over to this big ice hill. Well, all these white kids, they had toboggans with Snoopies and stuff on the toboggan. They was rich. I had a pair of socks.
Well, is Snoopy that old?
Well, you know, I'm talking about Scooby-Doo. I'm just using that. They had Mickey Mouse.
Oh, okay.
Toboggans with mittens. You know, expensive stuff. I came from the project. So I had socks on my hand, my daddy's socks on my hand, and his big old construction socks on my head as a toboggan. They kept me warm too, man. And plus I had it tucked in like, you know, so. We went to the ice hill. So these white kids had these sleds I seen on TV. I looked over at them, and they looked at me like laughing. You know, everybody laughing at me because, you know, I'm poor and all that. They stand up with coats and boots and all that stuff, man. I had some shoes on that was too big for my feet. But them old socks my daddy worked in construction. Them socks kept
insulated
me warm.
probably.
Yeah, all of them. So we get on my granny sat me on the sled, so the man got the whistle. It's a big old ice hill, big trophy, plus $50 to the winner.
Oh, it's a competition.
Yeah. And so he blow the whistle. They took off. I ain't want to go, man. I'm just sitting there crying for real, right? I don't even want to be seen in this stupid thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had a head start, man. My granddaddy pushed me.
On that ironing board top.
I had to grab it to hold on, right?
Mm-hmm.
That thing went past all of them. I talk about I left through in the wind, man. And that thing went so far that I couldn't stop it. It just kept going, man.
Past the finish line.
Man, past the finish line, past 4 or 5 finish lines. And so I walked back pulling it. And you know, all them kids wanted my stuff. And so the one kid that had that sled, he wanted to give me that for mine. I said no. And they took me over their house, white people. And the man, the kid's daddy, you know, wanted to give me a Christmas.
Mm.
And I heard him and his wife talk, and she told him, she said, John, what is that thing sitting in my living room? He said, Martha, that's not a thing, that's a child.
Mm.
That is a human being. I can't believe I'm hearing this from you. And then they talked a little more. I done heard it. She referred to me as a thing. So, this thing.
How did you feel? You was probably used to it. Was you?
Nah, I wasn't used
wasn't?
to it.
Okay.
I ain't never used to racist slurs or.
I was just thinking in the 60s, y'all went through
Nah, that's something you never get used to.
Okay.
I was so bitter. Now, I didn't come up where I didn't have a family that run around saying they hate white people and all this stuff. I didn't come from no family like that.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody in my family I know that had anything racial in them. Not even our kin people and our cousins. We didn't hear all that talk about I hate white people and white people this. This is stuff you read about the autobiography of Malcolm X and all that stuff. See, now I understand that too. But I'm telling you about the man, right? I use my man in pain situations. Well, if too much pain is getting ready to come to me, I'll stop it. I'll take my man and divert it, put it on something that make me smile, laugh.
When did you figure that out?
Well, I figured out that joy overrides pain. Usually the people that feels pain are the people lacking in joy.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
You know, some joy to being taken. And that's how they feel pain. But I overload myself with joyful thoughts. You know, I had one time I was handcuffed with an arm over here to the steel bars. This arm over here to the bed. This leg was crossed. So they had me twisted up. They was trying everything to break me, break my spirit. They was hiring people, military veterans, that served in the interrogation units in the war to come in and break me. And they end up losing their life, getting broke. I mean, actually losing their life. And so that's in my book. That's in...
Not that one.
Not this one. In the next book, it's in her. And who the veteran was. So, I mean, they bringing these people in here to break me. So, I was always been able to take my man and divert it. And if you put truth in her, that's even better. You know, I start searching for the truth, man. Not what people tell me, but what I find out on my own. You know, the truth about things, about people, about culture, history. You know, the reasons for this. I always start there at the root. I never start in the middle. Well, white people came over and brought us over as slaves, and I don't never start in the middle. I go to the root, I go past that. Well, how was y'all living before they came over and get you? How was y'all living? Did y'all have mansions? Y'all even have a project? Did y'all have stores? What did y'all take shower? What type of economy was y'all having out head before the white man came over and got you? How was you actually living? And you know, you go all the way back. You can go past that and go back farther to where when they was living good, how they keep doing the same old stuff. But that's a different story. What we talking about here is the power of the man, the ability to take your man, like,
and be bigger than the cell union.
yeah, like for instance, think about this. There was a time when if a white man called me a nigga, fighting words. That was worse than spitting in my face, right? Right now, one of them call me that, it'll go in one ear out the next. And it won't even affect me.
Right.
So I learned what the man is. You are what's in your man. You know, I mean, some people can be programmed. People, see, you ask yourself the thoughts that come through your head and the way you see things. As I'm seeing this from my eyes, or from the eyes of somebody that told me this is the way to see it. I went there with myself, right? I wanted to know the truth of things, how I see it. Not based on how somebody tell me. You know, like you got a lot of preachers out there preach wrong things. They said, one preacher told a person one day, he said, Sisters, church, I want to give a shout out to Sister Sarah. Amen. Everybody said, amen. You know, she's deceased. She just passed. And she leave behind her legacy of righteousness. In the name of Jesus, say amen. Everybody said amen. He said, well, she's up in heaven right now, all this old stuff, right? So I went to other churches and heard the same talk. They gone to heaven. But if you know the scripture in the Bible, ain't nobody going nowhere until Jesus come back and decide who goes in and who stays out. Ain't no going to heaven. You go to a place, it's like a holding place. I've been there, and I call it hell. All souls go there first. And they got a land down there where those on this side can't cross to this side. It's in the story of Lazarus. I mean, the beggar that died and went, they say the king wouldn't even give him crumbs off his table. And in hell, they say there was a land where they could see each other. But them on this side can't cross to this side and that side. But he hollered at the beggar and said, hey, can you come over here and just dip your finger in something and just touch my lips with it. I'm in torment. So Abraham, now we know who Abraham was. He's down there. Abraham said, no. He said, can you send somebody back to tell my brothers? Because they up there living the way that I was living before I came down here. He said, no, it can't happen either. So when I hear these pastors talking about so-and-so went to here, went to there, none of that's going to be decided until the day of judgment, who's going there and there. Ain't no you going to heaven right now. You going to a little holding place to prepare you for where you going.